A beautiful sight on pit road. The cars lined up, teams getting ready to send out the first one. Ross Chastain is first to go out onto the racetrack, and a guy, well, actually two guys who have a great view right there on the Peacock pit box in the middle of pit road are Dale Jarrett and our own Steve Letarte.
Yeah, thanks, Rick. We do have a great seat. So, DJ, we just heard the guys upstairs talk about what qualifying meant and what was important. And we could talk about, well, where you need to line up and the advantage it might bring you to the race. But for me, this may sound silly. It's about my ego. A lot goes into winning a race. You have to have good pit stops, a good strategy. But qualifying, you bring your best, I'll bring my best. We'll see who's fastest. Sometimes it's just good competition kind of sparks it off.
Yeah, and I think from a driver's standpoint, you look at this, okay, if I can go make a difference to start this day, that's a good thing. That gets us off on a good note. Now, if you go have a bad lap, miss your line a little bit, and you start a little bit further back, all that does is intensify you and that competition inside of you, as we see Ross Chastain out on the track now. I would not have wanted to be the first guy out here, I can say that.
Well, you said miss of the line. He was definitely over the darker area in 1 and 2. It looked like perhaps he overdrove 1 and 2 a little bit. When I look at this racetrack, that's the end of the racetrack that scares me the most. Turn 1 just invites you to drive in there. Everybody I talked to said, well, all I got to do is not underdrive 1 and not overdrive 1. Well, good luck. I wish it was that easy.
Yeah, it should be that easy. You would think, as a driver, that would be the one thing. But when you get amped up in these cars and you haven't qualified in a while, you're wanting to go get the most. So that's that will be more of what's happening here today, overdriving, getting into turn 1.
It's going to be a blast as we see Eric Almirola, another driver, Kelly, that probably could use a little boost of confidence. Maybe a good qualifying will help the 10 car.
Same goes for the number 1 car of Kurt Busch, who just watched his teammate Ross Chastain. First off, Kurt, you were here for the tire test not once but twice. How, if at all, did that help you guys?
Well, we were trying to find a durable tire for the concrete because it hadn't been used in over a decade. And so it was really chewing up every tire compound Goodyear had. And so with the combo we found with the Dover right side, Kansas left, the spray, it's completely changed the complexion. And so 4 days of Goodyear tire testing means nothing when you show up when everybody's here. So Matt McCall, all my guys, we've just been trying to free the Monster Energy Chevy up, try to get her loose enough for all this rubber buildup. And now we just pull the belts tight and let her rip for qualifying.
Well, how about your qualifying draw? You let these guys clean off the track for you, but it won't be totally hot. How do you like your 11th starting spot here? Or not starting spot, but qualifying spot.
Yeah, the track is ready for the lap that I'm ready to put down.
All right. Thanks, Kurt.
So far, Eric Almirola at a 29.55. The fastest lap in practice was a 29.72. Ross Chastain went out there and backed up his lap in practice at a 30 flat, but Eric picked a lot of time up, 7/10.
How does the sun change the racetrack? Yesterday it was overcast. Today the sun beating down on this track. It's concrete. Does it affect it as much?
Well, I think a couple things. Number one, it's much warmer today. The sun's out, but also there was an Xfinity race run. Since, you know what I mean, I think the track has just changed a great deal. I think Chastain just overcooked turn 1, and he won't be the only one to do that. We watched Xfinity qualifying yesterday. We saw a lot of people do that same thing. Chastain off a half a second from Almirola. They were fast in practice. I know they're disappointed with that lap. See, David Starr also got into turn 1 way up the racetrack.
Traditionally, it's good in these morning qualifying sessions, obviously, to go earlier as the track temp's going to continue to go up. But I don't know how much that might affect this track, this concrete 1.3-mile racetrack.
David Starr is 12 truck starts.
Yeah, he's had a lot of,
he's been here a lot.
Marty.
Hey, Rick, let's chat with Ryan Preece, who already has a win here at Nashville Superspeedway this weekend. That was Friday night in the truck race. So how much will those laps help you today and the knowledge you learned on Friday night?
Really, seat time's just so crucial. For a guy like me, I just want to get it all that I can, whether it's a modified truck, Xfinity car, Cup car, whatever it is. So just super appreciative for Hunt Brothers and Morton Buildings to get me in that truck twice this year. Kevin Harvick with KHI Management, and Entenmann's, we got that on the car this weekend. So pizza and donuts, that's the name of the weekend.
That's a good combination, isn't it? So is that something we'll see more of in the second half of the season? You running some truck races, maybe even an Xfinity race, or not?
As of right now, it's just I got Pocono next weekend with DGR, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to today, and like I said, just super thankful for those laps on Friday.
There you go, an experience on the track. Jeff, you know that anytime you can get seat time, especially at a racetrack that hasn't been running a while, it's going to help.
I think it helps, and I think also in his situation, you know, they just haven't had a great year in the Cup Series. To go back, run Truck Series, get a win, that's got to be huge for his confidence.
39 entries for today's race, so everyone will make the race. Pits have already been picked. We saw LaJoie go out, run 30-14. That's third. Balicki is fourth, 30-82. And David Starr right now fifth of the five, 31-69.
Saw the 7 car get it loose off a turn 4, trying to get everything he can out of this car. Losing the back right there, chasing it. Big slide right there. Briscoe, we saw him overrun turn 1 and 2 on his lap. He tested here, has a lot of laps here this year.
And why are we going to see so many people overdrive turn 1? It's simply, this is a completely different racetrack than it looks like. It looks like a mile and a half with tons of grip. Remember, last week at Texas, they were pretty much running wide open around the racetrack. You're not even close to that this weekend. Not even close. You've got to check your speed getting in turn 1. Make sure you hit your mark.
Here's Custer.
Yeah, he's got a pretty good lap going here compared to his teammate. Obviously, you see it down there on the bottom right. About a 10th off. He's just putting together a good, clean, straight lap. No mistakes. Probably left a little bit on the table.
But I would think in today's qualifying session, hot, slick racetrack, not making a mistake. That's going to be key to giving a good qualifying spot, Marty.
Let's chat with Alex Bowman. Big news on Friday. He gets a 2-year contract extension with Hendrick Motorsports. I love what you said. It's 1 year longer or double of any contract I've ever had in my career. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. It's a great time to be a part of Hendrick Motorsports, and just really appreciative for Mr. H and Ally and everybody on this 48 team to have faith in me to keep driving this race car. So, you know, we got some work to do yesterday after practice, but confident that we'll be pretty good today.
Last time we were at a concrete racetrack, he went to victory lane. Talked to him, though, this morning, and he said, you know, we struggled compared to our teammate Kyle Larson for sure.
Here's Justin Haley, and the announcement made Colleague Racing is going to go full-time with 2 charters in 2022. And so they mentioned Justin Haley will run full-time in the Cup Series. Pretty impressive run by Almirola. How good was that lap that we saw out of the 10 car?
I'm pretty sure he got out smiling. I don't think any of us knew exactly what the pace might be this morning, but 2/10 faster than the fastest car in practice yesterday. I feel like that's going to be a pretty good top 10 starting spot. It's not better than that, but we'll have to see how it goes. This track should not get faster as it gets warmer and warmer and the sun starts to cook this concrete, heat this place up a little bit.
Chad Fincham only has 4 career starts. He's from Knoxville, Tennessee, so hometown race.
Here's Smithley on the racetrack now. Got to know him quite a bit racing online on iRacing. Great guy. Works hard to get these opportunities.
Hey, guys, think about when you're talking about Eric Almirola there, where he would have started if we would have been back not having qualifying, and the difference this could make for somebody, a driver and a team that needs something pretty good to happen this weekend.
That's a great point, DJ. You know, qualifying, when we don't qualify, the field is set by the results from the week before, points, fast laps, and it would not have been as good as if you can just go lay a good lap down.
Confidence. Country Music Hall of Fame and the women in the Country Music Hall of Fame. So much history here in Nashville. Kurt Busch on the clock now for his qualifying effort from here at Nashville Superspeedway. Actually, one of the teams that was a part of the tire test here, and so Kurt will be trying to take advantage of maybe a little bit of that knowledge.
Yeah, he overran his lap into turn 3 and 4, coming to the green, cost him some time. He's still not got the grip in 1 and 2 he wanted. Now half a second back.
It's a mindset change. When you go sit in your car, you need to be thinking, I'm at Richmond, not that I'm at a 1.5 mile type racetrack. You've got to change your mindset to lay a lap down here.
How hard is that to do, though? You're at a big racetrack, a 1 1/3 mile racetrack. You've got all that horsepower. You think, all right, let's go get after this thing.
You know, I think it's really hard to do. I mean, it's a visual thing. You just gotta you got to take a step back. But remember, they've been almost running wide open on tracks that kind of look like this, and now it's nowhere close to that.
That's true, but they had practice yesterday, a lot of mock-up runs. They got a lot of data and information to to look over, and in-car cameras to watch. Even this morning, probably a lot of information available to them to understand exactly where their lift points should be.
Anthony Alfredo, one of the rookies that will be in the race today.
Rick, I hate to point this out, but Jeff is trying to defend them over the drive in the corner, and Dale Jr.'s not buying it. That's what I'm hearing down here. It's basically Bird's like, guys, this is nothing like I've been doing, and Dale's like, well, they did it all day yesterday. So he's not selling what Jeff's, or he's not buying what Jeff's selling.
And that's okay.
I didn't realize I was defending them. I was pointing out mistakes.
That's okay. we have differing opinions. So let's go down to Kelly.
Hey, no one has embraced being back in Nashville quite like Trackhouse Racing, and Daniel Suarez with the Tootsie's car and the cowboy boots. Daniel, have you been spending the week at Honky Tonks or what?
Yeah, I've been here since Wednesday, and let me tell you, it's a lot of fun. I've never been in Nashville before, and I've been enjoying my time a lot. Great place, great food. Looks like there is party here 24/7. So it's been a lot of fun to hang out with my friends at Trackhouse, with Nashville, with Tootsie's, and I've been enjoying my time a lot.
They call it Nash Vegas for a reason, Daniel. Time to get down to business. How was yesterday? What are you expecting here in qualifying?
Well, I'm glad we had practice because we were pretty off in the beginning, but everyone at Trackhouse Racing, 99, Chevy Camaro, they did a good job making adjustments. I don't feel like it was enough. We made a lot of adjustments overnight. Hopefully we didn't go too much, but we'll find out here in a second.
We're all about to find out together, Rick. Thank you, Daniel.
Yeah, that's the great thing about, this single car, one lap qualifying. You get to see what you have, what your team's ready to go out and do at the start of this race.
I think a lot of what we're seeing, too, is there's a little more speed in the track, and the guys are trying to get down in the corner faster than they did yesterday. It's a rough track. They could be getting onto the splitter a little bit, trying to slow the car down into turn 1 and 2, and then it's just definitely going to plow up the racetrack. That was almost. Oh, it is a wreck. Hang on to it.
Wow.
Just barely touched the right rear quarter panel against the wall. Great save. Keeps that car in one piece.
Well, you've talked about it, Junior. Just everybody's trying to drive in the corner as deep as they can. Car gets up the racetrack. Now, when you're in that white area, it's going to be really dirty. No grip whatsoever. Been doing a nice job not wrecking the car.
And guys, this is when we talk about schedules, the schedule changes. That save right there, I know he still made contact, but that save for the 00 could be a difference maker for the day. DJ, the backup cars don't have engines in them. You're not allowed to have them. The race is only a few hours away. Decisions have to be made which car you're going to run. So I know it's unfortunate to make a mistake, but that save of not having bigger damage, big repercussions for the 00.
Yeah, it could have been a lot worse than that. And that's the one thing as a driver, when you go into this, you know that if you make that big mistake here, that not only do you cost your team a lot of time, money, and efforts in the last week, but trying to get ready for this race this afternoon is a huge undertaking, especially for the smaller teams. But you just don't want to put yourself in that position. And I'm not going to agree with Jeff on his theory or disagree with Dale Jr. in the way that he's looking at this. I'll just say that when you haven't done something in a while, like going and qualifying and just getting amped up inside, trying to control those emotions that you have, because your right foot and your brain is telling you, I got to go get as much as I possibly can, and sometimes that doesn't work out.
We'll see if that 00 changes anybody else's strategy, because the risk versus the reward, Marty, is real when you qualify on race day.
Ryan Newman on the racetrack. I wanted to see how big the smile was on Eric Almirola's face. So is that a positive sign for Stewart-Haas Racing overall? I know it's just one lap, though, Eric.
I hope so. I feel like last week at Texas was a sign of things getting better. We ran really well in the open and was able to win that last stage, transfer in to the All-Star race, and we drove from the back and had things go our way and ended up with a top 10 finish in the All-Star race. So racing against the best guys, right? So I feel like we're getting things going in the right direction. If we can just build on this momentum and just continue to bring a little bit better race car to the racetrack each and every week. That's what we need to do. And Mike Bugaravich and all the guys on his team have been working their guts out. We've been bringing home a lot of crash stuff and race cars that just aren't performing well. And we've been chop cut rebuilding, it seems like every week, trying to find something to get us going in the right direction. It seems like these last couple weeks we are going in the right direction. So proud of that run. Proud of the car we brought here this weekend. I felt like we were pretty good on the long runs yesterday in practice as well. So we'll see.
Massive amount of effort behind the scenes right now. Eric Almirola is the fastest.
BJ McLeod just finishing up his lap. Slotted him in 11th of the 17 that have already been on the track. You count Quinn Houff, who got out of the gas, didn't finish his run. He was the 18th car that had been out there. Here's Ryan Preece.
You know, the other thing that we need to factor in is this racetrack is probably changing also. And even though the track temp's coming up as this qualifying session goes on, the track is also going through a transition. And you may actually, even though track temp is coming up, the track may be getting cleaned off and making those entrances to the corner a little bit easier to navigate.
Again, Ryan Preece winning the Truck Series race on Friday night here. Now it's Chris Buescher that will be on the clock.
Chris has had a pretty good year this year. I don't think I saw an improvement at Roush coming, but this whole organization's gotten a little bit better. Seen him lead some races, be fast.
A pretty good lap going right here, too. Did not get through 3 and 4 as well as I know as he wanted to, but let's see where it puts him in.
Another one able to get under the 30-second mark. Buescher slotted in 4th right now here in Nashville. You can get in the game with NASCAR Fantasy Live. Just create an entry. All you have to do, pick 5 drivers plus a garage driver, and you can compete in a new league or an existing league, whatever you want to do. Just go to NASCAR.com/fantasy to be a part of the fun.
That is a lot of fun, especially when you do really good.
Oh, you're saying that because you're doing well? Is that why?
I'm beating all of you currently.
Handily, by the way. I think you're still in the top 100 overall, too.
Maybe.
Here's Christopher Bell on the track now.
Christopher also one of the drivers that tested here twice for Goodyear. They came once, didn't like what they saw, needed to come back, brought the same 3 drivers to try again and confirm the tire. Good for Christopher to get laps here, but also good for the rest of the Gibbs cars. Slot in 10th.
3 of the 4 Joe Gibbs Racing cars have already been to victory lane. The only one right now that hasn't been there is Denny Hamlin, as we see Joey Logano and flashback to his success here at this racetrack back in 2009. One of the many battles between Joey Logano and Kyle Busch, where this one Joey Logano ends up in victory lane with that Sam Bass guitar.
Pretty decent lap here for Joey, but it gives us a better understanding of what kind of lap Eric put down. Joey, oh, he just had a wiggle right there off turn 4. It's tracking in to get the pole there, get the top spot away from Eric.
So a couple Fords up front. Are we seeing a little more strength there? I say a couple. Actually, right now the top 6 are all Fords.
Well, we don't know because the Chevys hadn't gone yet. So I think that's the big deal. You know, those Hendrick cars, when they rolled out, you can see right here, Joey Logano just lost a little bit right there. And that little wiggle, I mean, that's the end of the problem he was having, right? So he was having an issue getting off turn 4, and the car ended up wiggling a little bit. But that's what, you know, prior to that is when he was struggling.
Alex Bowman out here today with
Was there a contest?
No question, the best paint scheme.
It was a contest winner that did this paint job, right?
Yeah, I helped.
Who won that? Who won that contest?
Me and Jeff Gordon went head to head. It was an easy win. But it's a great looking race car.
And that's a passion of yours, right? I mean, you've been a part of paint schemes on cars since you were probably a little kid.
Jeff and Ally thought it would be a good idea to have a competition. Jeff's probably regretting that a little bit, but Ally seems really thrilled.
And so
Eric Jones.
Alex Bowman slotted in 4th, Jeff.
Yeah, Eric Jones had a decent 1 and 2. Let's see how 3 and 4 goes. This is an eventful lap. This track is low on grip. Really nice.
Whoa,
Wow.
in the fence.
Caught the wall.
Had good speed through the middle. Tried to carry it on corner exit. 5th place.
Gonna have to pull on them fenders a little bit, though.
It don't look terrible, though. It's P5.
P5, but obviously he'll have to work on it, so he won't be able to keep that starting position.
Just trying to be in the gas.
Pretty good shot.
Yeah, that was a good shot.
Here comes Kevin Harvick, Gravedigger.
Now, this is cool. I love the crossover and
This was a Father's Day present from Keelan.
it's a good-looking car. It's fun. So you got Keelan surprising Kevin. Gravedigger's there. All those tires over there. Big giant tires.
Big smiles.
Yeah. Oh, they climb up in there. That's pretty fun.
And so Harvick slots in 6th for his run. Now it's Bubba Wallace in the 23-11 racing entry.
Three top 15 finishes this year. They've all come in the last 4 races. So this team's moving in the right direction.
You hear the 23 get out of the gas into 3. You love that sound. Car decelerating into the corner. Marty.
Dale Jr., let's chat with Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who looked quick yesterday. 4th fastest. It looked good on the speed chart. Did it feel as good behind the wheel?
Yeah, it felt really good. Our Kroger Camaro was, like I was just telling you, you can have the fastest car and it not feel very good here on these concrete racetracks, especially as flat as Nashville is. Feel like you're going really slow, but all of a sudden you look up and you're like, all right, that was a decent lap time. So I felt like that was us yesterday. You know, we needed a little bit more front turn, but, you know, try not to compensate with the rear of the car, getting it out of the racetrack. Found it really tough to pass yesterday, so interesting to see how that goes. And just trying to make sure I don't overdrive turn 1 here in qualifying, see if we can put a decent lap down.
As Brad Keselowski goes 7th, Steve, that's what a lot of drivers have been saying, turn 1. That's what worries them. How deep can I drive in? Because I don't want to go too far, but I also don't want to shallow it up too much either.
Yeah, it's so inviting. You look how wide the entrance is here, DJ, was you see Austin Dillon turn down in there, and then just like that, right? The apex of the corners to his left, the car's going to the right, up the banking. You know, it's too late at that point. You're already too deep in the corner.
Yeah, you know, it's those 2 voices in your head that are telling you, one telling you get everything that you can possibly get, but I don't want to overdrive this corner and totally mess up the lap. But that one that tells you to drive a little bit deeper usually wins out, and so it's a matter, can put those 2 together somewhere in the middle and get something decent. And as a driver, you're thinking, gosh, this racetrack is really slick here, but this is going to be the best it's going to be all day.
Well, listen, we talk about hot streaks. You've been on them. You've seen drivers be on them. Kyle Larson, an amazing hot streak, looked good in practice. I was talking to him last night. He said, hey, my car doesn't drive very good, but it's fast. And I think that's the key, right? Just like Ricky Stenhouse just said, they don't feel good, but they have pace. Look right here on a pole run so far.
And then, guys, he was lower than almost everybody through 1 and 2. Was able to not overdrive turn 1. Think about this. The last time they qualified was at Charlotte. Right? That mile-and-a-half racetrack, the front straightaway is longer here. He lost it off turn 4, but the front straightaway is longer here than Charlotte. That's why turn 1 is so difficult. This track has not near the grip, but a longer straight head into it.
Yeah, Larson got down into 3 and lost the back of the car a little bit. Not able to complete the corner, complete the gas, get the throttle down. Great lap for Eric. And, I mean, he did go early. The track was really green with a lot of grip. I think that might have been the difference. Riding along board here with Suarez, seeing him fight that car and fight the grip through the 1 and 2 and losing that time down the back straightaway. Let's watch him. Busy hands through turns 3 and 4.
'15th for Suarez on his run. So it's still Almirola that everyone's chasing here in Music City, USA. Stanley Cup semifinal tonight. Game 4 Vegas and Montreal, 8 p.m. Eastern on NBCSN. It'll also be streaming on Peacock. Canadians lead the series 2-1. There's nothing like playoff hockey, and you see Bridgestone Arena there in the background, home of the Predators. This place is electric on a normal day. Think about if there was playoff hockey taking place right now. As we see Kyle Busch, the winner of the Xfinity Series race yesterday, hit that magic 100 wins mark in the Xfinity Series. Did not smash the guitar in victory lane.
We'll see if all those laps yesterday are a benefit to this guy as he heads down into turn 1, riding on board the roof cam.
Real nice line through there. Yeah, he and Kyle Larson both been fast through 1 and 2, and they've been lower through 1 and 2.
Got a 10th up on Almirola into turn 3. Almirola had a really good 3 and 4.
Can he hang on? Going the wrong direction.
Oh, man, that's close.
Wow.
Almirola, man, he really got through 3 and 4. So good.
He did. Track temp is up 6 degrees from when Almirola went, so that could be helping him.
So, guys, there's only 8 more cars to go in qualifying. Obviously, a great lap put up by Almirola, but is there anybody here on the list that could still knock him off the top?
Well, this was the fastest car in practice yesterday, William Byron. But he tracking pretty good off of the top of turn 2 down the back straightaway. But we've seen that corner that Almirola had in 3 and 4.
He drove it in there. Let's see if he can make it work.
He's losing the time off the corner. Good try, though, by William. Got a lot of other good cars coming. Truex, Chase Elliott.
So, Dale, you know, regardless of where Almirola heads up, if he can be on the pole or not, you mentioned it earlier at the top of the show. We said, you know, the importance of qualifying, you know, starting up front helps. And I talked about ego and competition. I'll be honest, I guess I didn't see someone like Almirola upsetting a Gibbs, a Penske, a Hendrick, because they were so fast in practice. Shame on me, but this is exactly what qualifying can do for a team. You talk about a good, like, launching off point, a huge step for the 10 of Almirola.
Yeah, and there's a few other drivers in that same situation, and whether Eric gets the pole, which would be a huge shot in the arm for this driver and this team with everything they've been through this year, they're going to have a great starting spot, which is much better than what they would have in the normal conditions that we've been doing things, not having qualifying. So really good job by that driver and team.
DJ and Steven, let's also put it in the context of what Eric Almirola told us as Matt DiBenedetto's on the racetrack right now. Remember, Steve, he said, we're pretty much chop, cut, rebuild every week we come back from the racetrack. So when you're in that mode as a race team to come out and maybe get a pole here, that's going to be pretty incredible and a shot in the arm for the entire organization at Stewart-Haas.
Listen, when the green flag flies today, the 10 car is going to have so much less pressure because every race it seems like they're trying to catch up. Now they're already there. You know, this magical battle to try to get to the front. You're starting at the front. So, I mean, Junior, we saw it yesterday, right? Having control of the race was the most important thing in the Xfinity Series race. Now Eric Almirola can either have control or see the guy who's in control. A great qualifying run so far with only a few cars left to go.
We always talk about organizations, too. And right now, I'm impressed with Stewart-Haas Racing. They have got their 4 cars all in the top 12.
I know, but we've seen them when we have qualifying like this. We see them do really well, regardless of the package. We've seen this organization. Big slide here. And he had to just give it up right there.
Yeah, he had to just quit. But you talked about Almirola. The best he started, you know, not counting the Daytona 500, is 14th.
Yeah.
So the entire year he's been fighting from behind. 14th was his best. So, you know, a completely different mindset. Martin Truex Jr., watch this. And we keep talking about turn 1, and he gets in the corner and just doesn't have the grip he's expecting, and has to chase the back of the car, and up the racetrack he goes, and now it's just over. And the complete opposite of what Eric Almirola is enjoying, he's going to pay the penalty for. He's going to be starting in the back.
This is a guy I think that's got a great shot today because of how wide the groove has gotten in the Xfinity Series. He had great pace. Tyler Reddick was 5th in practice.
Oh.
Yeah, out of the groove.
He had 4th best overall 10-lap average. And I think he's going to love to run that high side. If that can get going and find speed up there, he'll be one of the guys, one of the few guys that'll use it up there to pass people.
Wild ride there for Joe Nichols. He's on the hood. His single home run You know, Nichols a 3-time Grammy Award winner or nominee and a CMA Award winner. So a little bit of a wild ride there for him on the hood of that car. But Tyler Reddick slotted in 23rd with that lap. Here comes Chase Elliott.
He was way up the racetrack in 3 and 4 coming to get the green. Let's see if that helped him or hurt him. Maybe it hurt him a little bit.
Down 2/10 here. He's tracking down the back straightaway better, using that momentum from the top. Just don't think it's going to be enough. Backs up turn 3. Trying to make a gain off the corner here. It's going to be a little bit of a gain maybe, but
A little over 10th and a half off of what Almirola has posted. 6th for Chase Elliott. Here comes Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
He was 4th in practice yesterday.
He has 5 Xfinity starts here as well, so some experience on this racetrack.
10 lap consecutive lap average yesterday. He was 7th. So decent pace in this car for this weekend.
Remember, we talked about the last qualifying was at Charlotte. He qualified 2nd. Oh, way up the track.
Yeah.
And you could see how green it was getting into turn 1. He was like a 1/10 of a second quicker than the pole sitter getting into turn 1, and just was not going to have enough grip on exit. I tell you what, though, he recovered pretty nicely. I mean, I thought he was going to be way down the lineup. This isn't going to be as bad as what I thought turn 1 was going to create. Look at this. Look how high up the racetrack he is. But he is still going to be in 13th. I thought he was going to be 29th, 30th. Never quit.
Last car now on the track for qualifying. It's Ryan Blaney. Almirola, Kyle Busch, Logano, William Byron, Larson currently top 5.
Little wiggle right there, little slide with the back. Cost him a little bit of time down the back straightaway. Way low here.
Yeah, right on the bottom.
Different line than everyone else.
Worked, though, didn't it?
Not bad. Cost him a little bit of speed and pace to the checkered flag there, but 10th place.
Well, there's only been a few qualifying sessions over the past year and a half, but this one important for the 10 team and Eric Almirola. He gets his 3rd career pole. So that team has to cherish this little win of the day. I mean, starting up front, obviously, is going to help him out. Marty.
Ricky came out of the hauler and said, how about that? So let's be honest. I mean, other than super speedway races this year, the best qualifying effort was 14th. Did you see this coming at the beginning of the day?
Well, we haven't qualified, Marty.
That's a good point. Yeah, it's a very good point.
Yeah, that's the hard part about this year. Just without qualifying, we got in a wreck early at Daytona, and it immediately puts you in a hole. Every race thereafter just keeps compounding, and last week just always haunts you. You can't ever start fresh the next week because you're starting deep in the field, and then we've had a lot of other trouble. So we're buried in points, and we continue to start in the back, and it's so hard to build any momentum off of that. So finally a good weekend. Last weekend at Texas, like we talked about earlier, and then here to come and qualify on the pole. Just so proud of all the guys on this team. Everybody back at the shop, all the guys and girls at SHR that have been working so hard. You work so much harder when you're off. It's unbelievable, but we've been putting in a lot of effort trying to get better, and just happy for all of our partners, Smithfield, Pit Boss, Go Bowling, Ford, Shady Rays, Honey Stinger, everybody that supports this program. We've been trying so hard to get back to the way we know how to run, and just proud of Booga and all the guys on his team. So something good finally happened to us, and hopefully we can put it together for a whole day.
You mentioned earlier that you guys have been in chop, cut, rebuild mode almost every week. So what kind of shot in the arm is this, just overall for Stewart-Haas, period?
It's huge. Just we've been walking around with our tails between our legs a lot this year. Just not a lot to hang our hat on, and us specifically with the 10 team. So Booga and I have had a lot of heart-to-hearts this year, and it's been a very challenging year. But sometimes you grow the most through those tough times, and I feel like there's a lot of fight in our race team. There's a lot of grit, and we'll just continue to keep grinding and keep bringing the best race cars we can to the racetrack. So today's one of those days.
It's been a frustrating year, but it's nice to see a smile on Eric Almirola's face, Kelly.
been a good start to the weekend for Kyle Busch, an Xfinity Series pole, and then his 100th career Xfinity Series win. We turn to the Cup Series. Front row starting position, so knowing what you learned yesterday, how big was this qualifying effort for you guys?
I mean, it was better than expected. I didn't expect to qualify that well, so that was certainly a positive. And being able to get some speed in our Pedigree Foundation Camry, so that's nice to have an upfront spot like that. Oh, so close to getting a pole. You know, we don't get a chance to qualify much anymore, and when you get that close, it's like, damn, you know, because you have a goose egg in that column because we're not very good with the metric system. But overall, you know, just hopefully today's a good day. You know, again, we struggled yesterday, so I wasn't so sure what we were going to have in store for us today, but felt okay right there. No idea what that means for a race car because we completely wholesaled everything and changed it all last night. So we'll see what we have here later today.
How about the racing itself? I feel like yesterday was a bit racier than a lot of people expected coming here. Do you think that'll be true for the Cup Series as well?
I would believe so, yeah. I mean, the track's really wide. Guys were qualifying low, middle, high, all over the place. So it's just kind of a matter of where you feel comfortable, where your car feels comfortable, and getting that job done right, you know. So Nashville, we come here years ago, back in the heyday. And, you know, it was always bottom, bottom, bottom. And if you got off the bottom, you were going backwards, you know. So I really feel like this place is way different and more racy than we've ever had it here. So hopefully that prevails and puts on a good show for those at home and those here.
Thank you, Kyle. Rick?
Thanks, Kelly. So that was the front row. Almirola and Kyle Busch making up that front row.
You know,
Take a look at the starting grid.
You know, when I look at this, I think someone that's as happy as Eric Almirola is Cole Custer. Sitting there qualified 7th. You know, they've had a tough year also.
Eric Jones in 9th will have to go to the back of the field after making some repairs to the right side of that car. A couple guys here toward the back will have their work cut out for them. Chastain, Reddick had great pace in practice. Have to work from the back.
His teammate Austin Dillon behind him. Kurt Busch also way back in the field. Martin Truex Jr. in row 18. That's
a lot of work.
Yeah, a lot of work.
So big smile on his face. He was saying how proud he was of Booga. How about his kids, Alex and Abby? They're proud of Dad on Father's Day. Eric Almirola wins the pole for the race here at Nashville. Huge day of racing. Next, it's going to be IndyCar Series from Road America. And when we come back here, I think everyone is asking, Junior, will you be playing the guitar with Brad Paisley in Countdown to Green?
I don't know if we'll get the guitar out or not. I mean,
I thought you were excellent.
He gave me a compliment, said I wasn't playing bad enough. I'll make this.
Him getting the guitar out or you getting the guitar out?
I don't know. He said I couldn't need to play worse to make that spot more believable.
They'll be singing, right?
By him.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay. I don't know. I thought you might join in. It's going to be a great day, though. Cup racing back at Nashville. We're so excited about that. And again, that IndyCar race from Road America is going to be very eventful. 9 races in already, and we still haven't seen Team Penske get into victory lane. So that's going to be a great race that will lead up to us. Let's go down to Marty now. Joey Logano, he'll start 3rd.
Yeah, with another Team Penske driver, hoping they can make it a Team Penske sweep today. Joey Logano starts 3rd this afternoon. So what's been the biggest challenge of this racetrack overall? Because you told me you guys made big improvements there for the qualifying session.
Yeah, I think just unknowns, right? There's just so many unknowns. We haven't raced here in, well, with these cars ever, but I haven't raced here in over 10 years. So this is a lot of unknowns. You know, this resin, how does that act? You know, there's times in practice the top was really fast. We saw in qualifying the top was not the place to be. And everyone's just trying to figure it out as we go. So, you know, you just got to be open-minded and ready to change quickly. I think that's kind of the biggest thing. So I think our Shell Penzo Mustang's decent. You know, we didn't get to make a really long run in practice. We kept working on our car. We didn't fire off the truck as good as we wanted to be. But, you know, I think over time we've gotten a little better, and we'll see what happens when this race starts.
Well, Rick, I think that's the cool thing about today is that there's so many unknowns going into the race. Even guys like Joey Logano don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, and a sold-out crowd here at Nashville. Going to be able to enjoy the Cup Series race here later this afternoon. So many great things here in Nashville. NASCAR coming back to Nashville after almost 3 decades. Looking forward to the NTT IndyCar Series. That's coming up next. Joseph Newgarden will start on pole. Looking forward to that from Road America. A great racetrack. Now let's go to the Peacock Pit Box and Steve.
Thanks, Rick. So Eric Almirola, great day for him. But DJ, I want to look at the other favorites: Larson, Kyle Busch, Byron, the big names. No one seemed to have hurt their chances today other than maybe Truex. He's going to start near the back of the field.
Yeah, he certainly has some work to do there, but we saw Josh Berry come from back a couple of times yesterday in the Xfinity race and work his way back into a top 5 finish, so we know Truex can do that. But you know, you look at Eric Almirola and some Fords that are up there, that's great for them, but you don't have to look too far back to realize that the 4 Hendrick cars that dominated at Dover the last time on a concrete surface, they're all up there in the top 8.
Fair to say some head scratching between the two of us why someone didn't give the bottom a try.
I have no idea. I was sitting here thinking somebody's going to do this at the end, realizing that middle and upper groove wasn't maybe the best way around, and just give it a shot.
Rick, I thought DJ was going to run down to the end of the grid and tell the next driver out, just give it a shot. Run the bottom and see what happens.
DJ's been very neutral because he didn't want to side with Junior or Jeff earlier, so I don't know. He hadn't had an opinion that's really stuck one way or the other. But, guys, obviously during qualifying you see one-lap speed. Can Stewart-Haas Racing convert that into race speed today?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't see why they can't. I mean, this is kind of an unknown for everybody as far as the surface of this track and what it's going to do. And guys have been working on their cars. It's a unique package for this bigger track that we run here. So I'm up for seeing anything happen. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see Eric do well before car of Harvick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Kyle Busch is the guy I'm watching because I feel like Kyle Busch and his crew chief Ben Bayshore, they are starting to get it together. I feel like they were lagging behind their teammates, but I think they've overpassed them. I think they now are the most consistent and the fastest. Qualified well. I think that you're going to start seeing Kyle Busch win more races sort of the second half and take the fight to those the Team Hendrick cars.
You said Kyle, and I was thinking, well, everybody's going to talk about Kyle Larson. What about Kyle Larson and the streak he's on? Can he continue?
Absolutely. I mean, he definitely had a fast car yesterday. All the Hendrick cars are fast. They're definitely going to be hard to beat today, but I think that the gap is closing.
Okay, so you think because Joey Logano mentioned this racetrack, you can go high, you can go in the middle, you can go low?
I believe this race will come down to mistakes. I really do. I think this racetrack is treacherous. I think it's slick. I think it's going to matter when you make a small mistake. You may not ever overcome it. You're going to have to be almost perfect.
All right. Junior, you agree with him?
Yeah, I agree.
First time. There you go. First time on the day. Junior and Jeff agree. We're going to return later today for Cup Series racing from Nashville. But now it's time for IndyCar Series racing from Road America. Take it away, Kevin.